This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe Revolution Emperor Hordak figure from Mattel. This is a case of striking when the iron's cold with this figure because Revolution's been gone for a while and this figure's been out for quite a while. Although you can still find them in stores, I will point that out. Maybe I actually should have done that because I've got the international package, so on the back the actual little information is not there. We'll go over that a little bit in a moment. When you look at this side, it's just a continuation of the packaging from the front, and we do see Motherboard in the background. We also see a bunch of Revolution versions of the Horde troopers. And then on the side, we get quite possibly the scariest looking smile in history. Okay, maybe not the most, but pretty close. And a full body shot of Hordak. Oh, I'm sorry, Emperor Hordak. And then when we get to the back of the box, we can see the actual figure itself. We have, it looks like staff and hands here. He kind of looks like a dick there, to be perfectly honest with you. But usually down in this area, there would be a bit of information, which I will read because I have written it down from the other packaging that I saw in the store. Emperor Hordak, ruthless leader of the evil Horde. The demented mind behind the cult of Motherboard. Hordak returns to Eternia to supplant Skeletor and spread the Horde Empire to the furthest reaches of the universe. Let's go ahead and open this sucker up. Maybe I should have opened this from the bottom. Actually, yeah, it looks like it's supposed to be open from the bottom. My bad. On the side of the insert, we do see the little black and white version of Hordak with his staff and his hands. I like the way Mattel does this better than Hasbro does. Oh, I can tell this guy's going to be a joy to pose already. So he comes with a couple of fists, and they painted the thumbnails on them. You know, I really wish they'd regularly paint the fingernails on the female figures. They can seem to always do it on the claws of the male figures, but not the fingernails of the female figures. Stay. Good boy. The head of his staff looks like this. Just a Horde logo on a scepter, kinda. Spiky there. You could use this as a weapon, I'm sure. Depending upon what it's made out of, though, that would break. It is kind of interesting, though, that the top of this does also resemble Evil Lynn's staff a little bit. They've been doing this, though, with a lot of the Horde axes, giving him a staff with the Horde symbol at the top. I don't know why this seems to be a common thing nowadays, but it is. We got some nice detailing here. While I'm not a big fan of the color of his head, I do think the head sculpt looks pretty good. Although he does look like he could poke your eyes out with his chin stubs there, whatever you want to call them. They're not really horns. I wonder if he's related to the Balchinians from Men in Black. Yeah, articulation is going to be really fun with this figure, I can tell. So he's got so much equipment on him here. I can't even figure out what comes off, if anything. There's no... There's no pegs or anything. It looks like everything is glued onto him. And, you know, he's got this big old thing on the back here, the hood thing. He's got the huge collar. While the head is on a ball joint with a slight hinge to it, you can basically nod. You can turn his head a bit here and there, but it's really hard to do because of all the stuff around his head. Again, the head sculpt does look pretty good. The color just, ugh. It's like jaundiced Caucasian person. There's a soft goods cape. It does have an interesting angle down. Let's be honest, I can tell you right now that these are going to interfere with his articulation a huge amount. We can move his arm up that amount. We can move it back. We can move it forward this amount. There is enough give, so it lifts up a little bit when you move his arm forward. And you can move the arm back a little bit. Other than that, it's kind of awkward. Spoiler alert, these are the reason why Hordak lost the fight to Skeletor. Just saying. We do have the double joints, in the elbow here. God, that hurt. We do have a spin at the wrist. And we have the in and out articulation that tends to be standard for our Masters of the Universe figures. His cuff here does go forward a bit, so that does kind of get in the way and you might scratch yourself. He does have a waist swivel, and he has a boob cut. Oh my god. The whole middle area started spinning around. I wasn't sure if I got the back or the front and here anymore, but there's a slight indent here, so it's definitely not abs back there, so that should be his back again, right? So yeah, you do have the boob cut, and there is actually a pretty good range of motion with it. There has to be, because he's got no other range of motion at the upper body otherwise. Because, those arms. His skirt piece, there's only the cut in the front. So we can kind of kick up about this far. And we can kick back about that far. And we can only kick out this far. So yeah, when you don't have the extra cuts in the skirts, you really limit the range of articulation on the figure. We do have a double jointed knee, which again, you can't take full advantage of it because of the skirt piece. I don't know, can we get the foot all the way under it? No, I can't get the foot all the way under it. He has a thigh cut, which again, you can barely get to. There we go, finally can turn it. So we've got the knee, we've got the thigh, we've got the spread. We do have a boot cut. That might be the only joint that, besides the hand, that actually works all the way. We have a hinge at the foot. And you can spin it around on the peg there. So again, this guy is going to be a huge joy to pose. I wonder if he's using the same hands as Skeletor was. Also, does look like, while they did paint the fingernails there, the little claws, it does look like they did kind of missed spots on there. Some of them are off, or the paint's already chipping on it. So yeah, this is not a figure you're going to do a whole heck of a lot with. You will pose him. You will find a pose that he stands in, and you will leave him alone, because you're not going to be able to, like, do anything, because his costume interferes with everything. Now, if they'd gone ahead and made the skirt piece and this little flappy thing cloth, that would make a huge difference, because then it could, like, slip out of place a lot easier. But, like, I suppose you can kind of get him to sit down. Kind of. But again, the skirt does not shift around with him, so that's not easy. And if you were to, like, say, put him in a vehicle, not that there are a lot in... Are there any actually in the Masterverse line yet? You've got Skeletor's throne, that's it. And the two cats. But yeah, this is about all you can do for him to sit, if you wanted to. But you're moving the plastic out of the way. And just look how much this part here has shifted around while we're doing it. Because it sticks out forward. So if you have him standing straight, it's popping out like he's got a boner. Well, like, while he looks pretty cool and kind of badass, just doesn't have a whole lot of play value if you get right down to it. He is definitely a display figure, not a play figure. Has somebody else said that phrase before? I don't remember. I honestly really think that the fists are not particularly necessary as extra hands for these guys. Especially when you got Hordak here who can't do anything anyway. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. This is... I mean, I liked Revolution better than I liked Revelation, because at least Tila wasn't a see you next Tuesday in Revolution. But I think they could have done better on creating this figure as a playable figure. And that kind of startled me. Not just a piece of plastic that stands there. But if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hoard that like button. No, that sounded terrible. And if you enjoyed this nonsense, please follow me and subscribe. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.